In a major showdown, Dale Earnhardt Jr. throws down the gauntlet and severely undermines Chase Elliott's playoff chances. You won't believe the shocking revelations Dale makes about Chase's season thus far. Is Chase's attitude coming back upon him, or is there more to the story? Get ready for a no-holds-barred analysis as Dale Earnhardt Jr. takes us through the highs and lows of Chase Elliott's path to the playoffs. Don't miss out, subscribe to our channel, and hit that like button for more whereabouts on NASCAR. So, you know what's been getting a lot of attention this year? Chase Elliott has had quite the roller coaster of a season in the NASCAR Cup Series. Dealing with an injury that forced him to miss 6 races and even getting suspended for another event has really thrown a wrench into his year. And to top it off, he hasn't been able to snatch a single race win this season, which puts him in a tough spot as the playoffs approach. Hendrick Motorsports is a mixed bag this season. While Elliott and his teammate Alex Bowman are desperately trying to hold on to their chances of making it into the playoffs, they're currently quite a bit behind the cutoff mark in points, 56 and 46 points respectively. On the other hand, their fellow HMS drivers William Byron and Kyle Larson have been having an impressive season. In fact, Byron's number 24 car seems to be a strong contender for the race win nearly every week. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and even with the playoffs in sight, Dale Earnhardt Jr., a legendary 26-time NASCAR Cup race winner, doesn't have high hopes for Elliott and Bowman. He's keeping it real and thinks it's going to be tough for them to make a big impact in the championship battle. While Larson and Byron are considered the favorites, Earnhardt Jr. doesn't see Elliott and Bowman as major players in the final 4 showdowns. On his podcast, Dale Jr. Download, he mentioned how interesting it will be to watch Elliott fight his way up, but he's not optimistic of their chances of winning the championship this year. Given the recent form of the number 9 Chevy team, securing a spot in the playoffs is already an uphill battle, let alone going toe-to-toe for the title. It's a tough reality to face, but it's the current state of things for Chase Elliott and the number 9 team. Chase Elliott's reputation as a perennial playoff contender is on the line this season. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is quite outspoken about it, and he thinks it would be freaking embarrassing if Elliott fails to qualify for the playoffs. That's some serious pressure, especially for a driver who has been consistently in the playoff mix since his rookie season. Earnhardt Jr. believes that the bubble battle is a big deal for Elliott and his team. Failing to make it to the playoffs would be a major blow, and it's even worse if one of his teammates manages to secure a spot. He thinks it's crucial for Elliott's team not to hit the reset button and give up on the season altogether. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom just yet. Chase Elliott still has 5 races left to secure his playoff spot, and there's hope on the horizon. Next month, he'll be hitting some of his favorite tracks, including Watkins Glen, where he's historically performed well. But hey, some interesting opinions have popped up recently from folks in the know, like former Hendrick Motorsports crew chiefs Steve Letarte and Jeff Burton. They've been talking about Elliott's chances of making it to the round of 16. Despite his recent lackluster performance, both of them believe that he shouldn't be written off just yet. Steve Letarte thinks that, yeah, Elliott hasn't shown that winning speed yet, but he's quick to point out that the fastest cars don't necessarily win every single week. Winning does get a bit easier if you have the fastest car, but Letarte doesn't think we should discount Elliott and his team, including Alan Gustafson and the powerhouse of Hendrick Motorsports. According to him, counting them out would be a major mistake. Letarte is confident that Elliott still has a shot at making it happen. He expects that the wins will come eventually, maybe at tracks where he hasn't won before, like Richmond, or at places where he's come really close but fell short, like Michigan. Heck, Letarte even mentions Daytona as a potential spot for a victory, just like what happened with Austin Dillon last year. Now, Letarte doesn't want to give the impression that he's certain Elliott will win, but he's definitely not jumping on the bandwagon that says Elliott can't do it. He firmly believes that counting him out is just not accurate, and there's still plenty of potential for success. Jeff Burton joined in on the conversation and backed up Steve Letarte's views on Chase Elliott's playoff chances. He agrees that Elliott's team will need to step up their game and be better than they've been so far. But despite the challenges they've faced, Burton sees them as a dangerous team that shouldn't be underestimated. According to Burton, the key for Elliott's team is to bring more speed to the racetrack in the next few weeks, something they haven't consistently achieved in the past. He acknowledges that this time of year is tough because every team is working hard to improve and qualify for the playoffs. If Elliott's team manages to do it, Burton thinks it would be exceptionally impressive. Burton also makes a prediction that always seems to happen in racing. There will be a driver or a team that steps up their game and performs better in the next 4 weeks than they have before. It's a common pattern every year, where some teams find a way to improve and make a strong push, while others might struggle to keep up. With both Steve Letarte and Jeff Burton expressing positive anticipation, it's becoming even more exciting to see what Chase Elliott and his crew chief, Alan Gustafson, can do to secure that all-important win as soon as possible. What do you think about Dale Earnhardt's statements? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button for more updates. Elliott is making his return for the Cookout 400 Cup Series race. After finishing 10th at Pocono, he's currently sitting in 21st place in the championship standings, with 399 points and still hasn't claimed a victory this season. With only the top 16 drivers qualifying for the playoffs, time is running out, and Chase knows he needs a win to secure his spot. Ever since his comeback from a broken leg, which he suffered while snowboarding in March, Elliott has been determined to get back in the winner's circle. He missed 6 races during his recovery and even faced a suspension that kept him out of another event. But his focus remains unchanged. He knows he has to win, and he's not shying away from that fact. This weekend's challenge brings Elliott to Richmond Raceway, a track that he hasn't always dominated in the past. However, he's not dwelling on his previous performances there, and is determined to make things right this time around. Despite describing Richmond as the most boring racetrack ever to drive on, Elliott is optimistic about turning things around. He's eager to interact with the loyal fans in RVA and will be participating in a Q&A session at the midway section of the track before the race on Sunday. To him, engaging with the fans is an essential part of the NASCAR experience, and he appreciates how the track's redevelopment has brought fans closer to the action. The 2020 Cup Series champion remains as confident as ever, just like he did at the beginning of the year. He's keeping a positive outlook and taking the ups and downs of the sport in stride, comparing it to riding a roller coaster. Despite the current situation, Elliott's confidence remains unwavering. As a 5-time winner of the Cup Series Most Popular Driver Award, he knows that in racing, there are days when everything goes your way, and there are days when it doesn't. It's all part of the game, and he's embracing the challenges that come with it. Richmond Raceway holds a special place for Elliott. He's made 14 starts there, with his best finish being a second place in 2018. Making the playoffs in each of the past 7 seasons, Elliott knows how important this race is for his postseason hopes. Though he humorously described Richmond as a boring track, he also admitted that it can be quite tricky to figure out. But that's what makes it interesting, the simplicity that becomes complicated. Elliott sees it as a challenge for all drivers, with the exception of a few, making it a unique and exciting experience. Being the determined star that he is, Elliott is looking forward to the challenge. He genuinely enjoys racing at Richmond, and embraces the opportunity to tackle the complexities of the track. He knows it won't be easy, but he's always up for a challenge, and this weekend is no different. As the race weekend approaches, fans can expect to see Chase Elliott in his usual fighting spirit, giving his all to secure that much-needed win and make his way into the playoffs once again. The pressure is definitely on for Chase Elliott, but he's got the talent and the opportunity to make it happen. As the season progresses, all eyes will be on him and his performance in these crucial upcoming races. Let's hope he can regain his form and secure that coveted playoff spot. It's going to be an exciting ride for sure. So that's all we've got for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what you think of the video in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in the upcoming video.